Hi, Frank Flegg here, founder of Ethical Property Partners. The question that I get asked most right now and have done for the last few months is what is going to happen to the economy? What's going to happen to the housing market? I've done other videos, I'll do more videos about all of the things. We actually did a brainstorm with all the partners, all of the franchisees, and we came up with over 20 factors that are all interplaying right now to make now a brilliant time to be investing in property. But listen very carefully when I say that that's not why you should be investing in property right now. I met with a couple last week and they said, when should we invest in property? When should we time the market? And I told them a little story, and this is the story I want to share with you. A guy called Mark Phillips, purchased a property from me in 2014, 6 years ago. He paid market value for the property. Now we sourced the property for him, we refurbished it, we put tenants in the property, and he just bought it as an armchair investment with a guaranteed return on investment of at least 8%. That was his product. That's what we source for investors. We build portfolios for investors, as well as teaching people how to build their own. I met with him recently, and in fact there's a video coming out soon with him telling you about how it's performed. But I wanted to give you a little snippet now of how that property is performed. He bought it for £85,000. He put in a 25% deposit, and every year over the last 6 years, it has returned him net at least 11% on his money. So he's got a return of 11% on the 25% deposit he put into that property that he bought at £85,000. Now that smashes any return you're going to get from the bank, any return you'll have got from most other investment vehicles. And so that's fantastic. But here's the kicker. Here's why property is a phenomenal investment vehicle right now, yesterday, 6 years ago, and why it will be a brilliant investment vehicle tomorrow, next month, next year, and 6 years in the future. Capital growth. Now you can never rely on capital growth, but we live on an island. We're not making any more earth, any more soil, any more land, but the population just goes up and up and up, which means there's more demand than there is supply, and property prices go up and up and up. And there'll be some of you thinking, yeah, but Frank, prices sometimes go down. And I'd challenge you to find a 10-year period when property prices have dropped in the last 100 years. And if you're very, very careful and you pick the dates, you really manipulate them, you might be able to find 1 or 2 specific 10-year periods. But as soon as you turn that into 15 years, it smashes it out of the water because you've had another bubble. And so capital growth has to be a factor that we consider when we're buying into the UK property market. Mark's property, he bought it for £85,000. It's just been valued at £125,000. Now, when you factor in that capital growth, now remember, he didn't put in 85k when he bought the property. He put in 25%. So he put in £22,000, and now the property's gone up to £125,000. So now he's not only got that initial £22,000, but he's got an additional £40,000. It's trebled in value. On top of that, he's got his 11% per year. I've actually worked out the return on that, and his annual return when you combine rental and when you combine capital growth is phenomenal. If he chose to sell that property today, he would have made a massive profit, because he's not only made the 11%, which is £2,000 and a bit every single year for 6 years, but he's also made that £40,000 capital growth if he chose to sell. But why would you? He can actually just refinance, take a nice big chunk of cash out, tax-free, you don't pay any tax on refinancing, and he can then use that property to enhance his lifestyle, to buy more property perhaps. Many solutions. And so if you are considering investing in property and you're thinking, is it the right time? What will the market do? What will Brexit do? What will the furlough scheme do? What will happen to house prices? Just stop yourself. The biggest cost, or the biggest risk rather, to your property investment journey is inaction, procrastination. I've got people who I could name, I won't because it'd be embarrassing, who told me they were keeping their powder dry when Brexit was first announced in 2016. They're still keeping their powder dry. They're still not in the market. But the property market has gone up substantially in the last 4 years. They've missed out on an annual return. We guarantee an 8% minimum return every single year from your investment property. So when you buy the property from us and we've refurbed it and we've put tenants in it, got tenancy in place, we guarantee that initial minimum return. And so you miss out on that on an ongoing basis if you're not in the property market right now. Property prices this year gone up 7.8% by some measures. Absolutely phenomenal, and that's the average. And here's the brilliant thing about property, you're not average. When you invest with EPP, we are choosing the areas, we're choosing the properties that are going to outperform. Has the general UK market done what Mark's property has done over the last 6 years? Absolutely not. It's gone up. A rising tide raises all boats, I think is the expression. But if you select your property or allow us to select it for you, it's going to outperform the average market because we're experts, because we know what we're doing. The Chinese have a saying, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is today. And so my encouragement to you is don't procrastinate. Don't try and judge the market. You can buy property in the UK right now that's going to earn you a minimum of an 8% return, just like Mark's has. We guaranteed him 8%. It's averaged over 11% over the 6 years. You can buy a property like that right now for as little as £20,000 deposit. We pay your legals, you pay your stamp duty, and you're off and going. You could own that property this side of Christmas. That is what's possible for you. And so if you're interested in getting into property, you're not sure if you want to learn yourself and whether you want to go down the whole EPP franchisee route, that's cool. Come and dip your toe in the water. I personally meet with every single investor to make sure we've got an investment plan that works for them. Some of our clients are buying a property a month. They're busy, they've got their own jobs, they've got their own businesses. That's fine. We come up with an investment plan. We then make it happen for them, and all they have to do is sign on the dotted line and watch those returns roll in month after month, year after year. We can even manage the properties for you so that you don't need to deal with a letting agent or have to deal with the properties or the tenants yourselves. It really is an armchair investment. So if that's of interest, get in touch. If you want to hear more about EPP, if you want to know more about what your property investment journey could be doing for you, what your portfolio, whether you have it yet or not, could be doing for you, hit the notification bell, click the subscribe button, and I will see you soon for another episode. Happy investing.